All right, a very good morning to you. Many thanks for joining us for Friday edition of our Sports Today on ABS TV. It's the regular morning tonic on the show. It happens weekdays 9:15 to 9:55 a.m. on this dial. My name is Ike Nwokedi. Good to have you on the show. We'll check out what's going down in the world of sports as we anticipate a weekend expected to be filled with lots of sporting action across the globe. We'll tell you about the outcome of the National Sports Festival, the investigation there about Delta State and the total number of medals they got there. We'll talk about that on the show and the twister behind the number of medals they got at the National Sports Festival. There's a story making the rounds. Also, we'll talk about the Anambra State Sports Development Commission under the leadership of Patrick Estate Onyedum. Yes, we'll tell you about a 16-member MOC committee being set up in anticipation of school sports. It's this called Solution Sports Initiative. We'll talk about that on the show. Also, we'll tell you about FIFA, Federation of International Football Association, the record they have about the transfer market and how a sum of $1.57 billion was spent during the January transfer window. We also have a Formula One news, athletics, and then we'll serve you the league fixtures of our major leagues across Western Europe, and then we'll also talk about a training program for goalkeepers in Anambra State, which just ended a while ago. We'll talk about Smart Sparrows Youth Foundation, what they are doing in transforming sports and taking sports to the next level in their state. And now let's move on now to the show proper. Let's tell you that Patrick Estate Onyedum, who is the chairman of the Anambra State Sports Development Commission, on Wednesday inaugurated a 16-man sports solution initiative, main organizing committee, the MOC, which was later devolved into 6 subcommittees that will drive the organizing of 2023 Anambra State School Sports Federation, scheduled to hold from April to May. And the MOC is made up of members from the Sports Commission, Ministry of Education, Post-Primary School Commission, Universal Basic Education Commission, Private Schools Proprietors Association, Media Community, Medical Sector, and the Technical Consultants of the Commission. Onyedum, who is the chairman of the MOC, listed that the 6 subcommittees are to include tech venue and facility, ceremony and protocol, medical, media and public relations, security, and administration. Other members of the MOC are Okwonna Faith, who is the Director of Sports at the Anambra State Sports Development Commission, Emeka Obidimma, Director of Sports Technical, Johnny Iboka, Olusule Chimezi Anaso, Valentine Uzago, Justina Okafor, and Dr. Ikenna Nwokedi. Others are Emeka Okeke, Akonamo BF, to have Chika Aka, Bridget Ofia, Victoria Nwobi, Raphael Okafor, Romanus Ibekwe, who is the secretary. Onyedum, who expressed the confidence in the members of the committee to deliver on the tax, congratulated them on their appointment. He said that the local government area subcomponent of the MOC was expected to be inaugurated yesterday, and yes, it was, and to be to domicile the festival in 21 local governments of the state and 179 communities. And speaking on the program, Faith Okwonna, director in the commission, said that the festival will be held in the under 19 to under 13 and under 13 to under 19 categories from primary to secondary schools. Okwonna said that 10 sporting events will be in focus in the maiden edition of the festival, including athletics, swimming, basketball, volleyball, table tennis, Scrabble, chess, taekwondo, tennis, and football. And the subcommittees, like I told you, will have a technical, venue, and facility subcommittee. Emeka Obidimma is the chair of that committee, and the secretary of that committee is Osta Obijiofo. Also, other members are Johnny Iboka, Jude Nwafo. We also have Olusule, Edith Onwogamba, and Justina Okoli makes up for that committee. Under medicals, we have Dr. Emeka Okeke chairing that committee. Ngozi Nwegwe is the assistant of that committee. We have Godwin Chiedosie and Favor Nabo. For media, we have Chimezi Anaso, Akonamo BF, na Tony Nesiaya, Nemeka Egwonwo, and Dr. Ike Nwokedi as the secretary. And for security and logistics committee, we have Chika Aka as the chairman, John Ezebo Boade, Valentine Ozago, Madoka Okoye, and Emeka Realike as the Secretary of Administration will have a Romanus Ibekwe, formerly known as a Comrade Rome, Joy Ada, Okonna Faith, Ijomo Bala, Chioma Odenibo, and Ifeyinwa Mbatu Ojo. So that's an eater for that one. And also, let's tell you now quickly to the second story that the local organizing, that the local government committee was equally set up yesterday, and it happened at the Oka City Stadium, and the chairman was there to inaugurate and that committee and gave them the appointment letters for the job ahead. And 21 local governments are in focus, and 179 communities will be on board to feature in this competition are expected to come up in the month of April and May. So it will be played at the local government level, and then from the local government level we will move on to the state level. So that's what the situation is right now as regards that one. So we'll follow up on that story and we'll keep you updated as regards the preparation for the school sports, which is coming up later. Elsewhere on the show, let's talk about Delta State. Delta State is in the news this morning, and the Ministry of Youth and Sports Development may have laid to rest the controversy around the medal table of the last National Sports Festival after a ratified version which saw eventual winners Delta State losing a whopping 40 medals was released yesterday. There have been complaints from different quarters over alleged medals padding, which inevitably tainted the integrity of the games hosted last year in Asaba, Delta State. However, the ministry released the revised version of the medals table based on the recommendation of Brigadier General Emmanuel Okaro, led a committee appointed to review the exercise. In the revised medals table released by the ministry, Delta State medals were reduced to 280 gold, 168 silver, and 120 bronze medals from the initial 320 gold medals, 200 silver medals, and 228 bronze medals. And the host still maintained its leadership of the table. Delta was followed by Bayelsa, Edo, Oyo State, which pulled 106 gold, 69 gold, and 43 gold medals respectively, or 43 silver bronze medals respectively. And in a statement signed by Ismail Abubakar, the permanent secretary of the ministry, he said the committee submitted the human errors occasioned by administrative laxity, inexperience, general delays and non-awareness, and some in cases the misapplication of the substantive festival rules led to the flaws observed in the earlier computed medals table. But right now, that has been corrected, and I will now have a revised medals tables for the National Sports Festival. And quickly with this story, let's talk about this Nigerian. Terence Murphy is his name, and that man has been described as a killer by former FC Barcelona defender Jean-Claire Todibo. The 23-year-old striker made his debut for OGC Nice as they defeated Olympique Marseille by 3-1 in a friendly Ligue 1 match on Sunday at the Stade Orange Velodrome. Murphy was praised by the Nice teammate Todibo, who described the African star as a killer and difficult to defend against. Murphy, who is one of the top strikers based in France, signed for Nice from fellow Ligue 1 club FC Lorient on Tuesday on loan until the end of the season, and the deal has an obligation to buy for 30 million euros and a 15% sell-on clause in favor of Lorient. He's expected to be included in the Nigeria squad that will face Guinea-Bissau in the 2023 AFCON qualifiers are coming up in the month of March. You're watching Sports Today on ABS TV. Well, time for us to talk about this program, and it's about a program aimed at empowering goalkeepers, and goalkeepers, so we call them shot stoppers as well. And when you talk about football, you know that there are 4 departments. You talk about the goalkeeping department, the defense department, midfield, and the attacking department. But there was a special program put up by Smart Sparrows and Youth Foundation to train goalkeepers, intending goalkeepers, and goalkeepers of footballers, goalkeepers as well, who want to extend their career and take it to the professional level. Joining me on the show this morning to talk about that program, I have Mr. Clement Atochukwu Onyejeme, who is the president of Smart Sparrows Youth Foundation, to talk us through what happened last weekend as regards training of our goalkeepers, and it happened at the Oka City Stadium, and he joins us this morning. Good to have you on the show, Mr. Clement.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being here. One may say Mr. Clement Onyejeme, you've been here on the show previously, but for the benefit of the listeners or the viewers who may not have opportunity of knowing you, you may want to tell us who you are, what you've done in the world of football, sports, and then what Smart Sparrows Foundation stands for.
Yeah, my name is Clement Onyejeme. I'm a native of Oka. I'm a coach in the United States. Before I moved over to the United States, I'm an athlete, an Anambra State athlete. I compete in the athletics, shot put and discus. And by then I still have a foundation, Smart Sparrows Youth International, where we use, we help to develop our grassroots in football and other sports. Concerning the program we run, like you said, is under the affiliation with the Anambra State FA, with our foundation, and that's what it is.
Okay, now it's a goalkeeping program. We said, and according to what we are seeing here, latest training models for the goalkeeping department. What was the essence of having this program?
Yeah, we have been doing a lot of programs towards football. And as we may know, it's right now all over the world, football have evolved, in so many ways. And we that are out there, that is in the field, because this is what we do day by day. And from what we have over here in our grassroots football, we find out that many club owners, many clubs have coaches, which, to some extent, they have their little bit of knowledge of coaching. And to be precisely, we have been having this, let me call it deficiency, or maybe lack of knowing that in football, football in the world now have different department, like you said. They have goalkeepers coach, they have footballers coach. Like, we know that goalkeeper is a footballer also. But in that department, goalkeepers coach is something in the modern football that have taken, a new dimension. And right here in our grassroots football, we don't have that. And during the time of, my player, I'm a goalkeeper, and I know a lot of things that we goalkeepers suffer during the practice, how we be, confused of what to do and how to be able to get ourselves more involved in the playing. So that is what my foundation see that is necessary for us to organize this training. We don't just organize it to do it. It's a continuous thing that we want to, make it happen in our community, in the grassroots level, so that we keep on giving this education to mostly is the coaches, because we don't just do it and we are done. It's the coaches that will give this information that will still take it to different grassroots on our society. So that is what we do. Okay,
specifically, what was the number of players that turned up for that?
We got, at least I think we have up to, let me say, 50 to 60, which is very, very...
Okay, turned up for the Friday program.
Yes, it was wonderful because I wasn't expecting that much. Goalkeepers are not like footballers. So goalkeepers are specific, because if you come into a team, you can have at least one or two goalkeepers. But people come from Enugu, Imo State, Delta State. It was a very wonderful program.
Yeah, I have to say, it's quite an impressive turnout. If you could have 50 to 60 players, let's say you have two goalkeepers per team. That's technically 25 to 30 clubs turned up for that. That's quite massive. Now, I'm tempted to ask this, because if you talk about goalkeeping on a technical note, the latest models, I don't know if you can give us a tidbit of what is trending in goalkeeping. That may be something in the wraps, but you may wish to give us a tip of the iceberg.
The most important thing is all about the growth in goalkeeping. Like, the most trending facts right now in the, let me say, in the English Premier League, if you are not up to 6'2", you cannot be a goalkeeper.
If you're not up to
6'2", you forget about it. There's no way for you. So in this trend, that is where that in the golden age is 9 to 12. So as a coach, you have to understand that when you are watching a kid who says they want to be a goalkeeper, and the child is not getting that fast growth, is for you to advise him not to go forward because his career will just end up locally.
Now, are there supplements or food supplements or one that a player can take? Because this is inborn.
Yeah,
it's ingrained.
It's genetic.
A player can come out and say, yes, I want to be a goalkeeper. This is what I want to do in life. If it's not achieving that height, it's just something like food supplement that can be given.
That is why we're talking about evolvement of football.
Okay.
Like in the light of all the best we have in the world, you're talking about the German goalkeeper. We're talking about the Curtis,
we have Oliver Kahn, Nyowa and all that.
The one that just won the World Cup right now. Check all their height. Yeah. They are like 6'4", 6'6", 6'7".
That's Fernandez.
So that is what it is. So in the modern football, if a goalkeeper, like I said in the English league, if you're not up to 6'2", no team is looking at you.
Even up to 6 feet tall.
No, nobody's looking at you. Because that inch covers a lot of things when it comes to goalpost. So what we are trying to do is to give this information to the coaches to be able to help this kid identify their talent on time before they will make that mistake like, I want to be a goalkeeper, and you know that you are 5'8", and you stay in the course of being a goalkeeper, and your career will just end up.
Now, I want to bring in this. Now you've had this trainer, you made mention of the fact that a modern trend for modern goalkeeping now, you must have to be 6'2". Now, let's say you want to have this program for the youths of and between the age bracket of 9 and 13. Wouldn't that be a problem identifying a player at the age of 9 to 13, knowing if he will be up to 6'2" by the time he gets to 19, 20? Because there are players that will get to 18, they're not up to 6 feet tall. By the time they get to 22, 23, they're up to 6 feet 2.
That is why I said about the evolvement of football, like in the coaching in our field. This is what you are being taught as a coach. The coach has to know that we have to be watching this kid. Again, not just watching him, you have to be able to check up the parents. Okay. You're going to match up the genetics that made up the child. If you find out that he's not really getting up to it, because a child would love to be a goalkeeper, and at a time he's going to he has all these big dreams.
You bring in another controversy.
But that's what is football today.
In my family,
yes.
My father's brothers are all very tall, as I am. Yeah. But my father is not tall, and my mother is not tall. But I'm still tall. Yes. Now, if you bring in this aspect of genetics, it's going to cause controversy.
No, it's all about watching the kid itself. Like to us, the coaches, when a kid comes to a program in the United States, okay, say, I want to be a goalkeeper, because some kids will develop that love that, I want to be a goalkeeper. Then at a time, in that golden age time, you're going to be watching him, because in the United States, when a kid is going to specialty, is from 16. Every other thing we're going to tell you, going to be doing sports in general. Everyone you want to do it. Okay. But from 15, 16, that's when you start to specialize. So in this range of goalkeeping, you're going to watch the kid within that time. Like there's some kind of thing we do. We have to always measure the kid, the growth. Within 4 months is with you. How fast has he grown? You find out that this kid is not growing.
What if he's not feeding right?
Well, that is one of the major problems we will have in our society here, because by the time I look at kids of 14, 13, they just look at like kids of 8, 7 in the United States. So it's a big problem in our own society, because the nutrients we have here doesn't help our kids, because you know how we eat. So that's the problem.
It takes a while the morning after. Afternoon, you expect the good.
So it's a very big problem.
There must be a way to navigate this challenge, but we'll talk about that subsequently, maybe next time you be on the show.
Yeah.
But when you were talking, I could infer that you said this program will be continuous. For how long? Is it a program that will happen twice a year, maybe once a year, or just give us an insight on that?
Yeah, towards the major problem is that we don't have coaches, because it's the coaches that will transfer this information to the kid. Okay. So what my program is trying to do right now is to get more coaches involved, get them understand how to get online courses. We can cover my foundation covers for the payment, help them get this information so that they can be able to give it to this kid.
And we are doing our job doing the coverage of that on TV. Now, what else do you expect from Smart Sparrows Youth Foundation in the coming months and coming years?
Yeah, there's a program we did yesterday with the FA, because we know there have been a lot of problems in our state. So yesterday we did a program, we call it Let's Discuss Football in Anambra State. Yeah. So we just try to bring all the different departments that form the football structure to have a discussion on how to move sports forward in our state continuously, not just something that we have to do, we have this program, we do it and that's it. No, we want a continuous program that runs itself in our state to make sure that our grassroots football is being moving to the next level.
In 15 seconds, your message to intending footballers, goalkeepers in quotes, and those who want to take their career to the next level in Anambra State.
Right now, we're just facing a general problem in our state, in Nigeria at large, which is all about parents not supporting their kids when they love to play a game, because we know during our time you're going to get beaten because you went to go and play. Yeah. So I think that one information I'm going to give to the parents today is to try as much as they can to support this kid and do everything to support them and always be there for them as they play, because that is what football is. It is in modern age. And also I want to use the opportunity to thank Anambra State FA by the chairman, General Ilanyose, who has been doing marvelously well because I've not seen this kind of turnout and this kind of program and organization they have in the system in our Anambra Football Federation.
Okay. All right. We'd like to thank you, Mr. Clement Ochukwu-Onyejeme, the president of our Smart Sparrows Youth Foundation, for this initiative, goalkeeping, the training, and the latest model in football. Thank you so much for being here on the
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
And we'll continue to do this more on Sports Today on ABS TV. That's basically what we'll do here. We'll try and bring you up to the very latest suite and the latest in happening. And now you know about that goalkeeping training, and it will continue from what you heard from the president of our Smart Sparrow, that it will be on and on and on and on, and we wish him the best. And before we jet, there are league matches are built for this weekend. Before we go, in Italy, AC Milan will take on Torino, Empoli, Spezia, Lazio will take on AS Roma. We'll have Lecce Roma, we'll have Udinese Sassuolo, Bologna is at home to Monza, and Juventus will play Fiorentina, the Della Pie, and Napoli is at home to Cremonese, Sampdoria International. In England, West Ham United, Chelsea, watch out for that match, 1:30 tomorrow. Arsenal, Brentford by 4 p.m. Other 4 p.m. kickoff will have Crystal Palace, Brighton, and Hove Albion. Fulham will take on Nottingham Forest. Leicester City is at home to Tottenham Hotspur. Southampton versus Wolverhampton Wanderers. AFC Bournemouth at the Vitality Stadium will take on Newcastle United on Sundays. Leeds United, Manchester United, Man City will take on Aston Villa, and there is a Merseyside derby on Monday. Is Liverpool expected to take on Everton. We'll talk about that more on the Monday edition of our Sports Today with the results of the matches played weekend and the anticipated Merseyside derby. That's about the size of the show this morning. Sports Today on ABS TV. We apologize, we cannot give you the fixtures for that of France and Germany owing to time. Thanks a lot for being part of the show. We'll be back here on Monday for another episode. My name is Ike Nwokedi. Have a lovely weekend, but remember, sports is life. It never stops, and so do we. Bye-bye now.